Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday, September 26th. And if you are new to my page, my channel, welcome. My name is Carey. I'm a medium, a mentor, a channel, and a variety of other things that I bring to my work. Every Friday, we meet at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We gather together and we come together, first of all, as a community for those spiritual seekers, those interested in having, I would say, a down to earth mystical experience. That's what we do here. And we do a variety of things. We talk about working with goddesses, our spirit guides. We talk about shadow work. We talk about healing. Hello. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. I'm hearing happy belated birthday here. That's very kind. Hello, Christy. Welcome in, everybody. So we're getting all our wonderful comments coming in. It was my birthday yesterday, and I appreciate the sentiment, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so excited to see all of you. To be honest with you, I was so excited about coming on tonight. And it feels like something's in the air. And I'm actually was thinking, there's other readings I think I want to do tonight for us as we're on like the edge of October, which is, who doesn't love fall? The energy starts shifting, as people say, the veil lifts, when you do a lot of spiritual work, the veil. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Emma. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to see you guys. Yay. So if you're new and joining us here, welcome in. I am so excited you're here. If you have any questions or you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's coming in. I'm really excited about tonight's meeting. There's a lot going on. And I also want to say, I think the astrology, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I know I'm super excited to be with you guys tonight. I'm just feeling like, I feel as though tonight's going to be a little something special. Every time we meet, it's special. But I think because it's been so heavy the last couple Fridays, and we all know why, because there's so much going on in our world. And we are going through so many shifts. The astrology has been very intense, but the astrology is starting to shift. And we are, I think, in another sort of place. And so I think tonight, although we're going to do our usual connecting with the goddesses, doing Akashic Records work, I think we also might look at the energy for the start of October. What do you guys think? As usual, I'm having my coffee because it's 5 o'clock, and that's what you do. I also had this kind of fun idea, which I'm going to set it up now. I'm going to, yay. Okay. I'm going to add a second screen on here for myself. And what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to show you guys cards up close. So I'm going to have a second StreamYard. I put myself on, it's kind of fun. Yeah, I know the energy is something. So let me just kind of let myself, I'm literally going to put myself on mute on my phone so it doesn't blare and everything. Hello, guys. And then I'm going to be able to just let myself in. Okay, let me just let myself in here. Here we go. So here we go. Welcome in. So how has everybody been? Okay, how has everybody been doing? How's everybody been feeling? What's the energy like for people this week? We always do a little check-in. So I always like to find out, how's everybody feeling? Okay, I'm going to write something funny. What should we call? Let's call it the tarot cam. I like to call it the tarot cam because, and I put it on mute so you guys can see me. So you're going to be able to see me. Hang on, let me turn that way down because you do not want to hear me. Let me mute. There we go. Muting myself. Okay, so you're going to be able to see me here, and I'll show you guys in a second. All right, hang on. I'm backstage. We'll see how this sounds. Very productive week. Amazing. Okay, here, let me get everyone's information. So we're checking on how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? That is the tarot cam. Okay, so you guys can see me. I'm going to hold up tarot cards. That's going to be my other. It's seeing me times 2. So anyway, we'll remove that for now because we're not in that place. So, okay, let's hear what we're getting. All right, so we have, thank you for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate that so much. I love it. So let's see. Very productive week. We heard this from our Ariel. Okay. Amber is saying being a little scattered this week, but better than last week. Very good. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Feeling better today. Of course, Pacific Northwest weather is so beautiful. This is all of people who live in the Oregon area. That's where we're from. But so happy you guys are always here. And Christy's saying stressful. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then we also got throat chakra stress and releasing what's not yours. That's amazing. I'm excited. Amazing. So good. Well, wonderful friends. So we're going to get started with our readings tonight. As always, there'll be some spontaneity, which who knows what'll happen, because it always happens. We always have spontaneity here, right? Michael. Oh my gosh, here we go. Michael is saying your Michael message lasting number 7 was kind of on point. Okay. So one thing I want to tell you guys, I have been channeling a lot this week. So my readings from this week, which you may not have had time to watch yet, don't worry. Like I say, I always tell you guys, if you can watch one of my readings all the way through and comment and like it, that helps my channel a lot. But I did 2 channeled messages this week, and one of them was with Archangel Michael, and then the other one was with Jesus or Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. So they're really coming forward in my readings, which I think is kind of exciting for all of us. And also, you know, given I am a trance medium, so it just, I think they're like saying, okay, I'm on board. Let's go. Let's go. The Yeshua and Mary one this morning. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that. That was really interesting. I did it written. And that was an interesting thing to channel Yeshua. We'll call him Yeshua. You know, let me just say this. So I just like to clarify this point. So when I was growing up, I went to a very moderate Christian church growing up. I've talked about this before. It was a Protestant church in Berkeley, California. That's an oxymoron, as you even knew, because Berkeley is very progressive. And so, but I always had a connection with him, the spirit, but not necessarily with the formatting. I just couldn't put those things together. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I'm glad. I like getting your feedback because sometimes I'm just doing my YouTube videos. I do 2 a week. I might start doing 3. And I'm like, I hope this is landing. You know, sometimes I'm, you know, like you like the Archangel Michael. Amazing. Yeah, he was very strong. I'm glad. So this is good. This is telling me my audience it's making sense, because I feel like the way the channel is working is that it's starting to shape up where I'm channeling and I'm in the Akashic records. That's what I'm doing on mostly. I'm going to start doing some educational, but those are the bones every week. So my relationship with Jesus has always been very much like that. But then in recent years, it's very interesting for me being a Magdalene priestess, because the way I'm connecting with Jesus now is from the lens of being a priestess, very different. And I'll tell you guys a cool story. Okay. 3 years ago, I was finishing the first part of my Magdalene training, and I went to Mount Shasta, which I've told some of you this story before. And my mentor, Maren Bach Antonsen, I still need to, I have an interview with her. I need to release that. I'm getting to it, guys. All right. I'm doing a bunch of podcast interviews, and I'll release them on the channel. And when I was there, so what we did, everybody, we were in this huge yurt. You know, yurts are just like massive round tents with a really pretty strong roofing structure for a tent. And I was meditating, and as I am a medium, I saw Yeshua walking into the room of this with all these priestesses. And he was just kind of humbly being there, you're just recognizing, you know, what was happening. And he was holding space for all the women. He was there for a time, right? I made note of that to my priestess sisters. I said, well, Yeshua just walked in the room. And everyone's like, oh, great. You know, kind of a normal day for me and for the priestesses there. And so he was infused in there. But then everyone, at the end of that 5-day, it was not more, it wasn't a workshop. It was an initiation, right? at the end of that, we went through our own baptism of baptizing. We were being baptized into being a priestess. And during that time, I just remember this. We were our mentor, there was like 20 of us. We were being in the beautiful waters of Mount Shasta in California. She was like blessing us, right? And putting, and then saying, beautiful words and invocation. And just before I went on, it was my turn to go, we were all singing, taking turns singing in there. And I think I started singing one of my sweet little songs from when I was in, Sunday school, which was a very child related, way of connecting with Yeshua. And I was like bawling, just like burst into tears, bawling. And I was overcome with emotion. This is part of the priestess path, is that you literally are just I heard another mentor talk about it. I'll tell you guys about this in a minute, and it's like, that's part of it. You're just releasing so much that probably you've carried for lifetimes to get you to this point. As you can all imagine, I know a lot of you resonate with that. And I was overcome by emotion, but also of that merging of the symbolism of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and just that as a symbol for sacred masculine, sacred feminine in balance. It was so beautiful. So to have him, when I knew I would be channeling him the other day, I was in the shower. And I wasn't even planning it, but that does happen. As we know, sometimes we channel or we get ideas in the shower. It's very much like a spiritual cleansing bath. And I just felt his presence very gently. He's always been very gentle with me. And I said, okay, it's going to be you. Fantastic. And then Mary Magdalene was shortly after that. So it was wonderful. And I'd say more of that, please. I also am going to tell you guys after we start the readings that about a couple things next year that are very exciting. So I'll tell you about that in a minute. We have some exciting things happening next year in my school. I am doing some cool things which will affect everybody. And this is what I always say to my students: the work I do, the training I get, you get it as well. So I'll tell you guys about that in a second. Okay. So tonight, again, let's go back and go to our regularly scheduled programming, which we always do. How did you guys who was here the other night? I kind of spontaneously went and did the golden tier. Yep. I love that, Michael. Now, who was here last Sunday? I know Amber was, when we did the readings for the signs. And did you guys enjoy that? The zodiac signs for the week. I thought it was interesting. We did it for the new moon and also for the eclipse. I had such a good time. I'm going to do those, I think, regularly. And now I have the slides, so it might be different. So we're going to just open up the energy field. Okay, everybody, let's just start this. Come into communion together. Thank you for being here. Michael, you'll have to explain to me what the golden tier is. I don't know if I've read about that. Okay, friends. The zodiac trading I'm so glad you liked that, Amber. I think I'm going to do those. And that was people seem to enjoy it. I might try and do that. Well, I'll just have to see because it's a bigger reading. And obviously I don't read very quickly. So I'm literally 2.5 hours. I had the best time. I mean, it was so much fun, but there you are. Okay, here we go, guys. So again, if you are new and joining this, or if you're watching this on the replay, I'm so excited you're here joining us every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless I'm away doing training or otherwise busy. We do this gathering together as a community. And what we always start with is we open up the energy and we see which god or which goddess, typically a goddess. Oh, good. Okay, Michael. Yeah, let me know. So which god or goddess wants to step forward for us? And every week we have a different member of the goddess community come forth. And so last week, as a reminder, we had Freya. And I also should probably pull her other card too. I think I have, let me see if I have, hang on. Just because we've got Freya, do I have her card up there? Okay, good. So last week we had Freya. And does anybody remember, again, you're not being put on the spot, what her message was for us? We'll see if anybody can remember. And it's okay if you don't remember, but we'll see if we can see if you remember what Freya's message was for us. Freya, the Norse goddess herself, is very much a strong figure. And I think she was helping us work on a specific aspect of our personality. And I would say our character, here she is here. So I'm going to turn on the tarot cam. Hang on here. I got to put myself in there. Hang on. Oh, wait, I messed it up. Okay. Hang on. Here is the tarot cam. And forgive me, we're having some fun with this. And we're going to put the tarot cam up. Hang on, friends. This is me getting used to having two of me. There's Freya's card. Do you guys like this? Okay, so Allie, you're so smart. Something about confidence and embodying your light. Exactly. Yep. See, look how nice and clear that picture is. We love this for us. Okay, good. All right. I'm here for this already. Helping with the masculine. Very good. Very, very good. I love that. She surely was. That's what she was doing. Loved it. She also was helping us with courage, which we loved that part about courage. We loved that part about courage. She really was stepping in. I loved that. All right, so we're going to do the same. Yes, so good. We can see the card super clear. Okay, good. I'm glad. This is a one-woman show here, as you all know. I swapped to TikTok to see the cards last time. I know. I do too. And I kind of feel like it's important to have as much clarity, especially when visuals are important. It's nice because then you can also look at the cards, see maybe, hey, I'd like to go try them out. Yeah, and I've decided I'm going to stick to us just doing YouTube on Friday nights. I love the idea of people coming over from TikTok, but it's too draining on my energy, and it's not so good for my ADD. My ADD is where I'm used to it and I work well with it, but it's not helpful. So, okay, let's get down to business. I want to see who's here, who's coming forward, which goddess is here, and then we will get to it. And just as a reminder for those of you that are new, what we do, oops, remove me, getting used to all my cameras. So what we're working on now, where are we? Come back. We're here. Just a second, friends. There we go. Okay, so we're doing channeled messages from one of the goddesses. Then we're doing Akashic Records messages. And then we're doing messages from the ancestors. Okay, more or less. We might do mediumship. That's been coming up. So we'll see if that's a thing or not. All right, so let's get back to the original. All right, there we go. Okay, guys, I'm going to close my eyes and see who's here. Ooh, that was good. And we'll get started. Yes, I had a feeling. This is one of the Irish goddesses, and actually she might even be Welsh. I have to remember. She has been with us before, and her name is Aine, Aine. Some of you will remember her. Let me just kind of get her message first. She's wanting us to remember a note about freedom, about non-restriction, and about being okay with taking up space, of holding your ground, and of standing strong, even if you are a female or if you're a male, but standing strong in your masculine energy. Working on releasing fear, not being frightened. And I'm also hearing the words holding the line. The other thing about Aine is that, if I remember correctly, because I'll go into her gnosis in a minute, or her information, I want to say I think she might also be connected to horses, but let me check in here. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, I was wrong. That she's not connected to horses. Okay, but she is. Here we go. Yep, she is Irish. Okay. Ooh. Okay. All right. She's a beautiful goddess in this Persian. So yes, let's get her picture first so everybody can see a beautiful photo of her. Now these are, some of these. I'm very drawn, as you guys know, to working with the Celts, and the Celtic goddesses. And in my program next year, we definitely will have a couple of the Celtic goddesses. So if you're sort of interested in this, and this is going to be a very deep dive into working with them, but also more things. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. Okay, Ain. It was really lovely, actually, because a couple weeks ago when we were doing this work, someone said, "Oh, I work with Ain and I work with Danu." And I said, "I know Ain." All right, let's bring this up. Okay. And then I'm going to move things just a tiny bit to make these more equal so everybody has the same layout. All right. So Miss Ain, there she is. Isn't she a beauty? I love all in this iteration, all those beautiful flowers and the butterflies. And also I wonder what the hand gestures are about. Isn't she splendid? Just gorgeous. I also just really appreciate the artwork that comes. Let me see if I can line myself up correctly here. Oops, there, I can see her. This is the larger version. You can, and actually look at her necklace. Isn't that lovely? Okay, Ain. There we go. Okay, Ain. So again, she's talking about standing in your power, owning your masculine. Okay. And here's what's interesting. So her themes, are this: sovereignty, radiance. She's connected to the summer, wealth, love, luck, fertility, healing, and protection. So we'll read some of this and we'll continue. So she's very connected to the feast in midsummer. It's interesting because, as we know, we are moving deeply into fall. We're at the end of summer. So she's an Irish goddess, as I mentioned, of summer, fertility, and sovereignty. Her name means brightness, glow, joy, and radiance, and she's connected to the sun. So she's part of the Tuath de Danann, which is one of the folk of the goddesses of Danu, which we've spoken about before. She's the queen with supernatural powers who dwells in the other world, but also interacts with humans in their realm. She is the goddess of agriculture, wealth, and love. And to ask for her blessing of the crops, Irish farmers consecrated their fields with torches made out of hay in Ain's honor. This makes sense in regard to her role as a deity of the sun, and also emphasizes her power of command over crops and domesticated animals. As I mentioned, her feast is midsummer, the longest day of the year where the sun is at its peak. This is also the time when fairies are rumored to be the most active in the human world. In County Limerick, Ain is known as the Queen of the Fae. Okay, that's important. In more recent times, this connection may be due to her similarity to Ania, a mythical figure who is said to be the most powerful fairy in Ulster. Okay. Here's a little something which I did not know about Ain, and here we go. Various myths about Ain's past marriages to different men, with at least one of them leading to her being assaulted by a king. Okay, stick with me. She took revenge on her assailant. I won't say what she did, but it didn't go well for him, and thereby rendering him unable to rule again. Interesting that she's asking us to step into our masculine. Okay. This is, and she's coming up against a tyrannical male. Oh my goodness. I'm going to let you put 2 and 2 together on that one. As a sovereignty goddess, she deems whoever she sees fit to be king. Oh, just let that wash over you for a moment. And I'm going to say it one more time. Okay. As a sovereignty goddess, she deems whoever she sees fit to be king. She's a sovereignty goddess, independent of and not dependent on anyone. Important. This tale can also be read as a metaphor for what happens to a ruler who mistreats his land he is supposed to take care of. Do I need to say it one more time? You just can't make it up. Okay. This is why it's making sense. I was thinking, oh, she's a nice goddess. She's a fertility. She's doing all the things. But guess what else she's doing, friends? Sovereignty. She is here for sovereignty. Oh, I'm just loving this. Okay, here we go. As a sovereignty goddess, Ain will choose whoever she deems worthy to become high king. In our current day and age, the concept of worthiness is still anchored in our minds. I know, I love it too. Do you ever feel like you are not good enough for a partner, a job, or a task at hand? Do you ever feel like you are not worthy of getting what you really want? Most of us tend to seek outward validation from titles, assets, or other people. We compare ourselves to our peers, or rather the version of them that we create in our minds. We commonly evaluate and judge ourselves more harsher than we would anybody else. Okay? Like the goddess Ain, you have the power of sovereignty to bestow upon yourself. You are the only person who can give you the permission to thrive. You were born worthy. Amazing. You don't need anyone else's blessing or approval to follow your dreams and live according to your authentic needs and values. It is time to step into your sovereignty. I mean, come on. Here's the final questions. What does sovereignty mean to you personally? How can you take the first step towards it? In which areas of your life do you experience sovereignty, and where do you want to strengthen it? In which situations or circumstances in your life do you find yourself searching for external permission for acting on your own intuition? So here are her correspondences. She corresponds with the element of fire, because again, she's connected to the sun. That makes sense. Red is her color of choice. She, as far as her correspondence with a plant ally or an herb, that would be meadowsweet. That's sacred to her. It's a European herb that can integrate into your practice in many ways. You can make tea with it, wine, or skin ointment. And then she is also the queen of the fairies. The fae are powerful nature spirits. When you honor in favor of this goddess, milk and honey are considered to be among their favorite foods. Cheers to that. You can leave offerings such as nuts, clay, bones, acorn and pine cones. If you choose to work with the fae, make sure to invest a considerable amount of time to research these spirits and their customs first. And always be careful because they love to play tricks. We all know that, right? I love that so much. So, okay, I'll look at the picture one more time because this is so beautiful. So one thing I want to say about this, everybody, is that I love the fact that we channel the message first from her, and then we get the validation with her lore, her history. So if you are starting to work with these goddesses, it's my advice first to see what you get, but then make sure you do the backup with the history, and don't do the Pinterest version. Do the well-researched version, which is what I know this author has done. And then Christy says, I've always been drawn to fairies. Yes. I love that for you. Okay, Ain. We are excited. Okay, she's going up on, I said the throne. Okay, here we go. I'm excited. I actually wasn't sure who was coming up. I wasn't sure if it was going to be one of the Norse goddesses. I wasn't sure. But here we go. I'm very excited. I also feel as though more than likely, because I'm at that point where I'm choosing my curriculum for the Priestess Path program next year, and I'm sort of seeing which goddesses are stepping forward. And it might, listen, I already know some for sure. We already know some of the ones who will be there, but some are sort of still in flux. So now, before we move on to the goddess, and thank you, Ain, and we want to say thank you to Freya as we close the chapter on Freya for this, our beautiful Freya. So I'm kind of excited. So first of all, if you guys don't know already, tomorrow I'm going to be doing an Akashic Records workshop. That's absolutely free. If you forgot to register or still wanted to, there's still time. And the link is in my link tree, so you can't really miss it if you follow any of it's on here on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. And there's just really quickly that is going to teach you how to open. Oh, good, Michael. Hooray. And if you are really working in the Akashic Records gives us the ability to tap into, first of all, the realm of our soul, which has all our soul's history in it. But it's not just the history. It is the energetic current and the vibration of the Akashic Records that is the differentiator. And it's learning how to just open up, tap into it. And then it really has unlimited amounts of things you can do in it. So I think a lot of you guys know that this is something regular that I do, but it's the lead in because I'm going to be teaching a 5-week class on then learning to further work in the Akashic Records. And I'm going to be releasing the link for that tomorrow. That course is starting in October and it goes through mid-November. And then, as you know, next year I'm going to be teaching, I think it's going to be 6 months, a more in-depth Akashic Records certification, which is going to be, I'll tell you more about that later. Pretty extraordinary. So, all right. And I keep updating it. Oh, good. Well, listen, that's amazing. I love it. And learning how to work in the Akashic Records, you'll have to look at my training next year. I know you do a lot yourself, but my training for that, I'll go more into it in the presentation, but it's going to be taking it to the next level. So if you're interested in that, in healing, karma clearing, and all the things, yeah, it's super cool. Okay. All right. Now let us move into our, we're going to let me just switch us up to here, add us in here. Okay, let me put you up on the stage, friend. Okay, hang on. Let me get her. Let me put you up here. I'm not sure why this one's not coming up. Oh, well, we're not going to worry. There we go. Finally. Okay, so next we're going to be doing Akashic Records messages. Okay. Speaking of which, I've been working in the Akashic Records all day today with clients. Multi-dimensional work would be an understatement, but that's what we're doing. And so I'm going to just check in. I'm going to see what messages come forth, what we need to know, what's going to help us the most. And I think probably I might even do this tomorrow. It just depends. I will be releasing a zodiac forecast for all the signs probably by Monday. So look out for that too. That'll be a recording. Okay, let me just tap in. I'm going to open up the energy field for the Akashic Records for this collective. And if you're watching this on the replay, know that this is essentially, it's a timeless reading. So anytime you hear it, feel it, sense it, listen to it, it's the right message for you. So if you resonate with it, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to just tap in and I'll be there in a second. Okay. So I'm going to close my eyes for this part since I'm getting a lot of imagery, which often happens when I work in the Akashic records is I get a ton of clairvoyant images. So I'll go with this and tell you what I'm seeing. So one of the greatest things I feel that our guides in the Akashic records are trying to convey to all of us in this collective is that now is really the time to take charge of your life. That part of the empowerment of, I would say, not being passive is when you align with your highest self and then your divine timeline in your intuition and then through your actions, you start leading a life that is connected to not only your own inner heart, but also your soul's blueprint and your light and how your light affects the world around you. And we've been talking about this a little bit. We talked about this, I want to say, the last 2 weeks, if you guys recall. So as you're tapping into your intuition, as you're starting to channel your higher self through your frequency, you will start to make larger impact on your environment, and your own activation of yourself in your energy field, in your environment, will start to switch on the lights for many of the people around you. Even if you don't necessarily feel as though you are an Akashic Records mentor, or you're a spiritual mentor, or you're a healer or a guide, those labels do not matter. They don't mean anything really. What you're doing by activating your own heart and your energy is that you are bringing more of a light quotient to the world around you. Okay. And it's so when those times when you feel dragged down, you feel as though the world is, in the negative space, and that you feel powerless. I want you to remember how much power you have within you, and how that you are connected with divinity in more ways than one, and that your quotient of light is helping everyone around you. Therefore, you're doing your part being on your path. So again, you don't need the role or the title of reader, mentor, priestess, activator, anything, healer. You just need to turn your own light on and start shining that light around you. That is part of the journey. Okay. And the other piece of it they're telling me is, remember, many of us get caught up in the energy of what is leaving our space. So if you're in a big growth cycle, which many of you guys have, and on a regular basis, we all do, it can be very easy to get caught up in the outer layers of what is being released from your energy field. So that's why there's a need to tap in more, to reconnect with your soul's essence. And that way you can reestablish your, I would say, your power center, and then that will recharge you and help clear out the energy. So it is important to regularly check in with your heart center, to regularly clear out your energy field, to regularly put in the time to your spiritual practice. And it's part of you and being in your leadership role as a spiritual, a friend, a guide, someone who has much more knowledge than most. And I think it's part of many people's soul contract, if I'm honest, especially just being honest. If you're here listening to me and you've stayed this long, chances are you're a light worker. Surprise if you didn't really already know that. You are part of the solution. And more than ever, our light is required. We do not want to be as caught up in what is making its way out. This is extremely important. And this is why, again, for me, why I'm sharing the Akashic Records with as many people as I can, because this is one of the primary places you get most of that light quotient back activated in your space. And it's because you're working at a higher frequency when you go in there, and you're tapping into your soul's blueprint. I love that. This tracks exactly with a shaman podcast you watched this morning. I'm so glad. I will tell you, I'm usually in my own personality, I'm much more about, flow with your emotions. Don't worry so much. Take care of yourself. So that all the messages from the guides lately that I work with, especially in the Akash, and then the ones I'm channeling are all saying the same thing. And it is move in a place of light and action. If you feel yourself starting to get drained and misaligned, you need to tap back into your simple spiritual practices. And as you do that, you will change, first of all, your own circumstances, but also you'll help change the energy around you. This is a very dynamic and united way to connect. And that's why, more and more communities of spiritual people are doing this. So we talk a lot about the darkness of the times we're living in and what can we do about it. And that it really starts at home with us. It starts and realizing that pure light and light that's based in divine love, unconditional love, is the most powerful frequency that humans can have within their field, their frequency, their hearts, their bodies, their energy. And so learning to clear out what blocks that just by going in and helping to then bring it through. Now, this is not something we all have hard days. We all have days when we want to lay in bed and chill, and we are allowed to do that. This is not in any way a militant outcry for people to change everything at once. However, it is also then at some point we have to pick it back up and throw the football down to the end of the field. Are you with me? Now, I would love for you guys to be able to share your perspectives, if I may, if you wouldn't mind sharing that, and I'll speak them out. But what are your reflections? So this is a community, of course. So I would love to know what you've been receiving, what you've been feeling, what are the different reflections that have come up for you, and what have you noticed that is working? I think it's very important to activate that sense of what's actually working. Something else while you guys are starting to reflect on that, I think it's also extremely valuable and important to start doing, and I know some of you are doing this. I know Emma's doing this. I know Ashley. I know many of you are starting to get involved in your communities and whatever way you can to share light. I know you're all doing that. And in person, right? But also enjoying your life in person. You're all spreading light when you do that as well. So I know for myself, my guides have been wanting me to, and I need to reach out to, I have a dear friend I'm going to do this with, to do more creative things, but in person. And it's sort of yes, it's great. I'm doing spiritual things in person, but also you can affect people just by being, in different atmospheres, right? So yes, am I doing it for the fact that I'm helping people? Yes, I am. But I'm also enjoying it at the same time. So that is going to look differently. Hello, Skylar. Thank you so much. I love it. Love it. Okay, so we're getting some comments. So thank you so much, Skylar. So Amber says, I keep hearing, let your light so shine before men that they might know some kindness again. We all need help to feel fine, from Godspell. That is beautiful. And that brings me so many memories of the 1970s, honestly. We should all play that album again, I think sometime, the Godspell album. That's amazing. I love that so much. So that's probably why, for me, I keep getting these, honestly, and I need to bring Miss Keisha on a Friday night. I think I've got to tell her that. She messaged me today. But I was thinking about, I'm getting all these little hymns I used to sing when I was a kid that I liked, and things like that. So I feel like that's all part of it, right? The other one I'm getting, I don't know what this is. I think this is a gospel one, but I also think this could be from God's spell as well. And no, it's just one I used to sing. It's prepare ye the way of the Lord. Now, listen, me with one Lord, we're not doing that. But I also think there is something to be said about invoking things that many people have prayed over, excuse me. So I think doing those types of things where you're singing, you're doing movement, you're sharing and shining. I think that's very, very important, right? That's from Godspell as well. Exactly. I thought so. Prepare ye the way. You're in the gospel. You're in the choir. I haven't been in the choir literally since I was probably 15. But yeah, so, and I'm like, listen, I think I need a few more pagan songs. I know I have some, and I know that there are other ones that are more so. Oh, I love it. Michael speaking Spanish. I need an interpreter. Okay. When I work in the light, I feel like I'm having to push away the darkness to get through the grace and love to the ones who I need to share it. Like the darkness is mad. Well, you know what, Tammy, I want to talk to you about when you hear that. One thing and this is what I'm going to be working on in my Akashic Records training, not to make another pitch, and that is how to work with different energies that would be more connected to that and break contracts, things of that nature. I know you know what I mean. Okay, there's been a lot of processing stuff I thought was resolved this last week. Being able to meditate and connect has helped me tremendously. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you guys so much. These are beautiful comments. I've been focused on getting more consistent with my own personal spiritual practice. I'm proud of you and what it looks like for me so that when I'm out, I will be brighter, more healthy for it. And also for yourself, right? Makes a lot of sense. My guides and ancestors send me hymns and songs all the time. I love that so much. My mom, was a really a righteous Christian in a beautiful way. Like she was an example, right? She was definitely an example. And so I felt like she was always kind of pouring light into me. And when I sing those songs, I think about her and I think about how much love there is, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, that was a beautiful message. Let me close the Akashic Records. I'm feeling before we go on to the ancestor reads, I'm definitely feeling like we need to do some tarot and oracle around what do we need to know for the upcoming week? Okay, what do we need to know? What do we need to feel? What do we need to? And I knew I was going to be adding in a little bit of the zodiac reading, and I think we're going to do it for the elements. So we'll do it for air, earth, water, fire signs. I think we'll just do that. That'll keep it a little bit shorter, but it'll make it interesting. What does everybody think? I'm excited. Okay. All right. So friends, I don't have it listed on here, but what we're going to start, let me write it down so I don't forget. You guys know, sometimes I got to write stuff down. I'm going to do it under what's coming, air, earth, water, fire. Okay, friends, here we go. And I'm going to do a little spread. Just what do we need to know for the upcoming week? Because we're finishing up September and we are moving into the beginning of October later next week. And again, look out for my zodiac reading. So this is going to be for my Libras and my Aquariuses and my Geminis. If you have any prominent placements in any of those signs, you've been listening to gospel a lot. I love that. So if you find yourself, where do they want me? They're telling me everything. Okay. They've wanted me to bring out some of my fun decks. So we're going to have some fun. Let's have some fun. Air, earth, water, fire signs, friends. We're going to look around the world and see what we're getting. What do we need to know? These will just be kind of general messages for the collective. I'm excited. Here we go. All right. I'm just putting my stuff down. Hang on. Here we go. Let me get out. What do they want me to bring out? They're telling me everything. All right, so we're going to go with the tea leaf. These are so fun. North Node and Gemini. Okay, for my Libra rising. Emma, are you a Libra rising? I feel like I heard that before. So if you do have any of these placements, please let me know. Okay, what are they having us do? Okay, here we go. Again, a new deck, you guys. Here we go. Who's ready? Who's excited? Okay, I have a new deck. This was, yep, I knew it. I remember everyone's astrology. It's hilarious. So this is a brand new deck by who? Rebecca Campbell. This was my birthday gift to myself. It's her newest deck. I showed this off last week. It's called the Inner Temple Oracle. Highly recommend it. I'll also kind of show you how the box works. I should be a pitch person, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let me just quickly show you how this thing works. Okay, hang on. Let me just... Okay, I can't take myself off because the mic goes out. Okay, here we go. So first of all, the deck itself is incredible. It's beautiful. Aquarius. Okay, so we have some Aquarians. All right, so first of all, look at this box. Yeah, hello. This card is embedded. So, but look at this. And you can slide your card in here. Hello. So you can put it on your altar. I mean, come on, really. Rebecca Campbell. Amazing. So we're going to do that. Okay. Then we're going to do a little bit of that and we're going to have a little fun. Okay. And then we're going to do two. What do you want me to do? 2 cards? 2. Okay. So this is what they're going to do. Here it comes. Gemini rising. You have a Gemini girlfriend. You're a double Gemini. You have a Gemini sun and a Gemini rising. What is your moon in, Allie? I know everyone's business. What is your moon in? Try to remember. Okay, so here's my air signs. The Hierophant is coming out on the table with this. Ooh. Okay, I'm not going to tell everybody everything till we get to where we're going. So then I'll pull the pictures up. Okay, what do we need to know? What's the T? There's 2 there. Okay, all right. And then we pick our final card. I can't remember. That's okay. She's all, let me look. I'm obsessed with people's astrology. I feel like it's the intimacy for us to me to know about you, especially for those people that are my students or clients. I'm like, okay, what's your astrology? All right, let's look at what's our card from Rebecca. Ooh, that's a harder one to get. Okay. All right, let's add it. Okay, so here we go, my beautiful souls. This is for all of you, timestamp at 52 minutes. Okay, this is for all my air signs. Take a little peek. Notice we have 2 major arcana on the table here. We have the Hierophant and we have the Strength card. Okay, let's do a few things because guys, I'm teaching my tarot class in the Goddess Rising membership right now. And next time we meet, we're going to be going over the major arcana. You can always join us. Okay, so the first thing I'm kind of looking at is the numerology combination. So we have 8 and then we have 5, which equals 13, which breaks down to 4. So what's the recommendation for our air signs this week? As far as numerology, you are working on stability, stabilizing your energy right now. Okay. There is also a recognition that you are in the middle, air signs, of going through a process of learning something, possibly a new skill, a new lesson, a new leadership opportunity, or you might be dealing. Timmy! How have you been? I miss you. Moon and Cancer. That's fabulous. That's your healer energy, Allie. So you're going through this process right now of trying to understand the lessons that you're having or how this fits into your life. Now, some of you with this energy, and again, what we're reading, friends, just as we're getting clear, is we're looking at These are for the air signs. If you have any air sign in your chart that's prominent, sun, moon, rising, could be your north node, could be a lot of things. I kind of look at it like that. Where is your placement of this energy? But also the Hierophant, everybody, has to do with institutions, convention, right? It's like a Saturn type of energy. So you want to look at how are you growing by having to be contracted, right? Because the energy of Saturn is an energy that pulls you in, makes you have some rules. Oh, no, you're sick. So I want you to think about how that's affected. Now, what it's bringing up in you is having to be strong and find your inner strength regardless of this. So it feels to me this week, guys, if you're an air sign, you're going to be tested. And you're going to have to look at, your being okay with restrictions, limitations, boundaries, but finding your power within that. Okay. This is interesting. I'm picking some of these tea leaf cards. These are really cute. All right. So we have grapes. Time to go out and have some fun. Do you guys remember what I was just saying? Again, this is for the air signs. Time to go out and have some fun. This is my guides are really saying we want you to go out, sign up for a class. I've already been thinking about this. Timmy, if you want to do this with me, let me know. Anybody in Portland, I would love it. I want to take a ceramics class. But this is absolutely going out, having some fun, enjoying yourself, right? Also notice this is the time of year in North America for harvest, which is when they pick the grapes. So I'm getting that. Okay. Next, we have a rat. This could be for some of you in some situations. Someone working against you behind your back. Absolutely. I knew you would. Someone working against you behind your back. Okay, listen. As you guys know, I was writing. I wanted to do pottery class. Oh, Ashley, you can join me and Timmy. I want to talk to you guys about this because I've been thinking about doing things in Portland that are really like more you can drop in, but I'll figure it all out. I'll get all the info. I'll do the research. So this is a lot. I feel like you guys making sure you're protecting your energy. Okay. Because not everybody has your best interests at heart. And then also make sure you're doing your spiritual protection, making sure you're setting up the protection in your home energetically, however you do that. That's important for you. This is air signs. Okay. Finally, for them, we have staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. Okay. This is an affirmation, friends. If you've been worried about something working out in your favor, this is definitely saying, yes, it's going to happen. I know, Timmy. I'm not saying anything. Okay. All right. Now for the air signs, this is the final card. We're getting the card of plenty. Notice this, guys. Look at these cards, you guys. Again, this is Rebecca Campbell's deck. She has two sides to it. Look, she has plenty in the bottom, but you guys pulled the plenty. And then if you flip it, scarcity. Okay, I can do this. I can do it. I can do hard things backwards. Turn it the opposite way and move it the opposite way and then turn it. So we didn't pull that though for this. We pulled plenty. So this means everything is working out. This goes along with this beautiful energy of the staff. Okay. That is for my air signs. I love the energy. Okay. All right. Next, friends, we're going to go to Earth. So I know some of my Capricorns out here. I'm going to be talking to my Taurans, and I'm going to be talking to don't tell me what it is. What do I do? So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Here we go. Are we ready? Okay. So what's coming up for you guys this week? Again. Ooh, yes. Our Capricorns are in the house. We love them. We got a couple Capricorns here. We got a Virgo moon. We got the Capricorn, couple caps. All right. Let's see what else is coming out for you. We're going to pull 3. Cap rising. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, last card. Capricorn moon. Love it. You need your Capricorn energy or shit doesn't get done. Just saying. Okay, here we go, friends. For all you Earthians, I don't think I have any. I don't have major planets in Earth. I have a Mercury and I have Virgo in a couple houses planets, but not any of these. Okay, here we go, friends. Ready? This is looking beautimous for you guys, Earth signs. My God, the Sun and the 9 of Wands. What I'm hearing internally is patience is going to pay off. Patience, diligence. You married to a Capricorn, amazing. That's good for a Pisces. Because aren't you a Pisces too? Taurus stellium, love that for you. So one thing I'm really hearing is your hard work is going to pay off. That you are a champion. You have to be a champion for yourself. And all of your experiences, the hard work, the hours, the sweat equity, it's going to come into fruition. You're going to really start to pay it. I'm hearing Spirit's going to like pay it forward to you. So that means that when you were literally at your wit's end 2 weeks ago with all of the astrology that was going on in general, how cray it was. Now you're moving into, yes, I think it's time. It's my time. This is a reprieve from the intense energy all you Earth signs have been having. The lottery, Timmy's always like, am I going to win the lottery? It's about turn time, right? It's true. It's true. I love that for you guys. I really, really do. Okay, let's get into the tea leaves. Love. Oh my God, you guys, you got a double sun for the Earth signs. Take a looky. Also, happiness and well-being. Hello, you got the sun twice. That is double validation. So you really actually know it's been a rough few weeks. So happy to see this. I know, right? No joke. No joke, my Earth signs. Oh my gosh, I really feel like I'm so happy for all of you guys because look at this. This is one of your favorite things. The bowl, plenty of material things. Oh, you're an Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, Cap, Cancer, and a Sagittarius, and Stellium. Okay, got you. Plenty of material things. Come on. You are literally talking to the heart of like the Earth signs right now. And then Tulip is saying great passion. That's amazing. All right, now here, let's lean in a little further, friends. And we're going to get Rebecca Campbell's card, which is the Chamber of Soul Gifts. So for me, with this card with you guys, really feels like you are able to really recognize and tap into, because I know sometimes you guys are very tough on yourselves, that this is like starting to recognize who you are and with your spiritual gifts and also your abilities. And then also really being able to take in and allow yourself to be validated. That's what I'm getting. Right? Isn't that beautiful? I know, it's so beautiful. This is hard for you guys because you don't take compliments so well. You're humble, you're hardworking, you tend to be more practical, things of that nature. But this feels like it's finally recognizing time. I'm excited for you guys. Really excited. Hooray. All right, who's ready for the water signs? I know I got a couple water signs up in here. Again, what are we talking about? Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Well, Scorpio is my rising. I often relate to it, as many of you, I've said to many of you before. But also, I think a lot of people with, like, I would say water placements. Ooh, girl, I know. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus. Yep, Scorpio, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Cancer rising. Yes, my people. Love you guys. Love, 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 love it. Okay, here we go. All right. Let me hear. I'm hearing a ringing in my ears for my water signs. Spirit is coming in. So what I was saying is I think it's been difficult for you guys as far as the, some of the energy I think has been a little bit harder on the water signs lately. I'll say that. And this is making sense. This is good. This is good. We are happy for you guys in this way. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. Our tea leaf cards. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, we've got some good energy coming out here. Your right ear also started ringing. I know, right? Pisces. Exactly. All right, what do we have here with our Rebecca Campbell deck? So hard. Pluto has been squaring my sun. Yow, I know. I'm telling you. I kind of feel like listen, we've all had it kind of tough, but I actually feel that some of our water signs have had it really rough. Okay, let's see what the Rebecca okay, that came out. Okay, who's ready for this? Okay, again, if you're wondering what we're doing, and if you're joining us out on the For You page, come on in. The weather's nice in here, and I promise I don't bite. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's put it back up on the screen. What are we getting? Here we go, and add it to stage. Okay, here we go. So a couple things that we can highlight here for our water signs. Okay, as we said, many of you, I think, are at the end of this cycle. You got your butt kicked around the astrology over the last couple of months, but I feel like a reprieve is coming for you. The astrology's, I think, feeling a little better, a little lighter. Again, this is for my water signs. And I feel like the work you've put, and you're going to start to understand why it's possibly justified that you went through some of the things you went through, because the payoffs are going to be there. So with that 10 of Wands, that is literally the end of something pretty heavy, right? And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is triumph, clarity, a new direction. Finally, after feeling foggy and unclear, what is coming next for the water signs? You have victory. Okay, you have persistence, patience, investments, things paying off for you. And some of those things you just can't get to unless you go through it. That's one of the things that is part of the deal of being in this mortal coil. Okay, here we go. Now, this is what's making me feel like I wonder if there's some things that were rough are going to be converted. We have the pineapple, which is reconciliation. We also have the tent, which is a temporary situation. And then we have one of my favorite, a distant friend is thinking of you, a dog as well. Resilience, I would say absolutely. I would say absolutely for my water signs. And then finally, we're getting the card here of connection. Isn't that beautiful? The bottom part is connection. So it feels a lot to me. So we have reconciliation. So we may have some reconnections with people that you might have either not been in touch with for a while, or maybe there was more distance between the two of you, right? I kind of feel like that could have been a possibility, right? Venus is in Aquarius. So validating, because in meditation, that's why I go through so much. Yes, I'm very happy to hear that. And I think it's really nice to hear. So here's the thing. This is another one of the many reasons why it's so helpful to connect in regularly through a spiritual practice. So you get all the shedding we're all doing, then you at least get clarity, reprieve, healing, and consistent reconnection. I'm glad that tracks for you, my dear. Okay, here we go. Final one. Final one. Now we are moving on to the fire signs. Where are my fire signs at? I say for myself, I'm a Sagittarius moon. Love my Sag moon. It's saved me in many instances. I'm going to pull that card. I'll do it in a second. You guys can't see there. Wands, King of Wands, and a new. Okay, I'm going to take it. Thank you for that. All right, we got that going. I'll pull these cards and show you in a minute. These are for my fire signs. If you're here wondering what this week's going to be like, here it comes. Here it comes. And then finally, the Rebecca Campbell deck. Sag moon. I know, Timmy. Love that for us. Ooh, this is, yeah. All right, here we go. Again, my fire signs. Here we go. Let's put it up on the webcam. Here we go. So what do we have before us, friends? We have the Fool card coming out with the King of Wands, you know, really the guide of all of this, of the fire energy. So for the fire signs, this looks like this, there we have a new lease on life, a new energy coming in. I feel like this is going to be good for those situations where we're moving into some kind of a leadership role, or we have been redeemed from a nasty situation and we're going to come out on top. It also feels to me a lot like this is jump starting energy where you have felt stuck. And then also, I feel like your head is clearer. You've got a different vantage point. There's more clarity for my fire signs. So we're not feeling as maybe intimidated by something ahead of us. That could be work related. That could be personal life related. That can be creativity, connection, things like that. That's a great energy. Now, as far as our tea leaves, what do we have? We have the Mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Think about that. Could you see a person in your life like that? Or possibly, is this you maybe? Okay. Is this you possibly? Where are you being resistant? Then we have a dark woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with a dark complexion or hair. So maybe looking into this, possibly is this someone you know, could be coming up or around you. Okay. And then finally we have money will be coming in. Well, I will say for me, it's been a good day today. So that's a good start. So your abundance is probably coming towards you. I know Timmy's like, oh, you mean I'm going to win the lottery? That's like Timmy's like on her vision board. Girl, get it. And then finally, we have the end is also the beginning. That is gorgeous. The end is also the beginning. I feel like this is definitely, we've got the Fool card here, guys, right? And we have money coming in. This feels a lot to me like, again, this is probably somehow related to financial, something happening, switching, shifting for you. So some stream of an income coming in, new ideas for those fire signs. Amazing. Love that so much. Okay, let me remove this. This was, I think, wonderful. I know it's the best Oracle deck. So I want to tell you guys, I think I might start doing, isn't it yummy? I know you can get it on Amazon. I think I might start adding in this check-in onto my list. That didn't take, it was a good amount of time, right? And we kind of got a check-in. What does everybody think? Because I feel like it's a nice thing to add on to our weekly forecast. I'm not mad about it. I kind of think it's a nice idea. So I think I might do that. We'll get a vote. Lottery, Cap and Sag coming in hot. I'm glad. So Christy's saying, I love these readings. Okay, let me get all your feedback because I'm here for the people. Could a water become a fire? I don't think so per se. Unless, but wait a second. What else is in your astrology, my friend? Because what is your moon? What's your rising? Okay, Amber likes it. Timmy likes it. Christy likes it. Okay, we're going to add it in. I'll put it on the list. Tammy likes it. Okay, good. I'm glad. I love it too. I like knowing, and I think it's a crowd pleaser. We want to do the things. Okay, we want to do that. All right, what are we doing with the ancestors? What's happening with the ancestors? Let's get it. Okay, good. I'm glad. So we're going to put that on the list. I'll change the note board and I'll put in, you know, zodiac for the week. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so we're going to talk to some ancestors. Let's kind of bring in the energy. Now I'm almost ready to get one of my favorite decks out for Samhain. Let me see if I can find her. Just a second. Now, Samhain or hang on. Sorry, guys. Got to do that for a second. Samhain doesn't happen technically until October. So we'll get it out. I'll have to get it out. It's a little too far away. I thought I had it right here. I do not. All right. So we're going to move now into talking to ancestors. So if you're new to my page and you're wondering, what does that mean? Well, I am a medium. And so what I do on this live stream, typically I open up my energy field. Sometimes I bring through a single loved one with like validation, evidence, information, and all of those things. But then often what I've been doing is just getting a collective message. Okay. And so I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. So it varies. And then also, I forgot to tell you guys, this Sunday night at 5 p.m., my bestie, Lorenda Carr, and I are going to be doing the channeling experiment, 5 p.m. It's a co-live on YouTube. We're not going to do it on TikTok because last time they like shut our live off after about 45 minutes. And so we're like, yeah, no. Also, I just want to make a really clear understanding of something right now with TikTok. Because I can say that here. I can say it freely here without being restricted. TikTok, 5 p.m. Pacific. TikTok is, as we know, being taken over by maybe some parties that I don't align with. And I'm really not sure how much censorship is going to be happening over there. I have no idea. So that's why in the beginning of this year, one of the many reasons why I started investing my energy in YouTube. I know. And what that means, yeah, I know. So as you guys know, YouTube is not going anywhere. Okay. It's really not. My guides have said, no, it's not going anywhere for a very long time. And I'm hoping that they don't mess with our freedom of speech. But, I kind of try to keep some of the names out of my mouth, as you know, because I'm not going to be making that kind of content. But I want to be able to speak freely about the topics we talk about, which are to do with healing and, the ascension process and working with your guides and all the things we talk about. So energy work. So I want to let you know, that's kind of like, I really have no idea what's going to happen, but you guys know you can find me here. This is a place you can always find me. And this will continue. I'm so glad, Christy. And I'll tell you something, guys. If I need to, I might go live here a couple nights a week instead. And I'll just shift, because I enjoy it so much. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad everybody likes it. I'm so happy. It's really funny. I'll tell you, as I'm shuffling and talking to the ancestors, I'll be transparent with you guys. So the YouTube growth is a slow burn. So, and I knew this ahead of time, and it's because it's known as long form content. Long form, of course, being not 5 seconds. Jenna, I'm so glad you like. So glad to have you here. And not, it's like, and most of us, are people that I know. I love the ancestors too. Most of us are people who, want to go in depth with a topic, be able to have conversations, connect, hopefully meet in person. This is my plan, is eventually have retreats and things like that. And so for me, the TikTok algorithm it's always feels like I'm like trying to, put out a fire with a water hose. So it's an intense energy. I'm grateful because I met many of you there, but I don't know about the longevity. So this is what we love about YouTube, is that, this is a slow growth. So it hasn't been like immediate for me getting thousands of people, but I'm okay with that because I'm building a library here and people can come and watch it at any time and a later time, I'm very grateful for that format, to be honest with you. So yes, the practical ancestors are coming in. All right, let's see what we're getting. Speaking of ancestors, they're like, okay, chatty, let's get to the reading. Okay, this is Michael's astrology. Let's pull it up on the screen. What are we getting? Oh, wow, he got into it. Pisces. Oh, wow, you have a lot of Pisces. Okay. Okay, we're getting it all. Okay, so we have Pisces at 15 degrees, which is right in the center. Your first house, of course. Your moon sign is Capricorn. It's in the 11th house. And your ascendant is in Pisces. So you were wondering about, I know, it's okay. You were wondering about, I think something about a fire sign, weren't you? I thought you said that. And can you turn into a fire sign? I think you said that. So we'd have to look at your other, you pretty much have the astrology you have for your lifetime, but you can work with energies to transmute them. But your nature is what you see pretty much. But you can transcend the limitations. And you probably have a fire sign somewhere else in your astrology chart. Okay, they're telling me stop chatting. Gosh, they're bossy. Okay, what is it you guys want to say? I'm working with your cards. So here comes the ancestors coming in. They're wanting me to pick 5 cards. That's an interesting number. All right, here we go. Let's look at the cards and then I'll tune in and see what they say. Okay. All right. So this is an interesting reading. Okay, 2 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay, let me talk to the ancestors. Hang on. So the way when I do ancestor readings and I do it with tarot, any reversal cards are literally direct messages from them because they're in the, they're beyond the veil. So it's like they're in the underworld in a positive way. And in that position, we have the 2 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. So here's what I'm getting. What they're saying is they really want you to enjoy the process you're growing through. That's what they're saying, though their words. This is for all of you. And so what that feels like is that even though sometimes you feel the limitations of where you are currently on your earth walk, on this labyrinth, during this mortal coil walk, but enjoy the fact that you are growing and stretching and expanding. Don't rush ahead to where you think you need to get to, because then you won't enjoy the development process. And they're equating it very much, since we were talking about making pottery, is why it's so good to do something like that creatively, is because you have to you cannot rush the process. You have to be where you are. Imagine if you're forming clay. You're trying to make it into something beautiful, but it's going to look like crap for a while. And so that's what they're saying. 2 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. You're not going to be a superstar in what you're doing or be the best at anything, as the way you move through that, especially if this is related to your spiritual path, is by simply connecting, being authentically where you are, allowing the process to take you on that journey, and then enjoying it. Isn't that a wonderful message? I know. I love that. That makes so much sense with my new development. I'm so glad. You worry too much. I know. And we do that, So we want to think about that between the number 2 and the number 6. There's a lot of growth that happens in between those numbers. And that's why it's good to know, if you pull cards, know your numerology, because what do you have in the ligaments between 2 and 6? You have a lot of growth and development. You have expansion, you have stability, you have conflict, you have change. So water dampens the water. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that in one sec. Okay, so that's that. So another thing is, does anybody have a male relative who is a water sign in the spirit world? So that would be, does anyone have a male relative, a parent, grandparent, loved one who was a water sign? Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio. I do. My father was a water sign. So I'll say this is from my dad. Okay. Christy said yes. Tammy said yes. Okay. This is from a masculine. This is from, you can take this as a group message. This is a masculine parent and yes. So we have a lot of yeses. Yes. We have tons of yeses on if you have a male loved one in the spirit world who is a water sign. So we have a lot. So that's all. Yep. That's Cancer. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So here's what I'm getting. This father energy or grandfather energy or loved one is saying the following. My father was a Scorpio. Yeah, my father was a Scorpio too. Yep, perfect. So this is your dad's energy coming in. Again, remember we were talking about the masculine energy in the beginning of this reading with Ain saying, standing in your power, you get to claim your king. Okay, let me show you. Let me bring it up. This is going to be a little hard to see, but I'll show you guys. I'll tell you one at a time. Okay, so here's the King of Cups. A little hard to see. Your grandpa was a Cancer. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's King of Cups. Then we have the Ace of Wands, which is they got a little dragon. If anyone works with dragons, I know Emma works with dragons. Knight of Swords. So this to me ties back in perfectly. Hang on, I'll show it to you. Where is she? Tarot of the Abyss. You work with a yellow dragon? Great. So this is Tarot of the Abyss. This is one of my ancestor decks. I just work with this with the ancestors. And you love dragons too. Great. So one thing I'm hearing from them is that this is your dragon. This is also your loved one in the spirit world who was a water sign. But this is, again, standing in your power. This means you're in charge. This is your ancestors are like, you're not waiting for someone else to give you permission. You're also getting the Knight of Swords. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. And you're being fueled by the will of your ancestors a bit right now, plus your own spirit. So you have all that support, all that security, all that love just coming in and flooding into you in such a beautiful way. That is like, honestly, giving you this, you have it coming, the wisdom from them and the guidance. And then you have also just the being in your sovereignty, right? Because that's what we got from Ain. Let's put Ain up on the board again. Again, we're working this week with Ain. I'll put her up there. And her message to us was, I choose the king. Sorry, my stomach's growling. I choose the king, not someone choosing it for me, right? And also that standing in my power. Okay, super important. That is really like the energy of a dragon too. I'm so glad. So glad that makes sense to you. Wow. I knew this live was going to be cooking. I just felt like this was going to be a good one. The spirits did not disappoint. Bottom of the deck, the final part of this read we're getting is the Sun card coming out in this deck. That's got some beautiful imagery in it. It's got like a world within the worlds. And also it has the infinity sign at the top, the Lemegeddon, which is beautiful. Amazing. This was an incredibly special night. I want to thank everybody who was here live. I want to thank everyone who's watching this on the replay. Please let me know in the comments when you're watching this later. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and please comment and let me know how you enjoyed this live, how you enjoyed this format. If you have any other, moments that you would like to see happen in the live, I'm going to be adding in the zodiac sign for the week. If anyone who's watching this, if you could do me a favor, make sure you're supporting the channel with your subscription. And at some point, I'm going to have, once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to start having, you're welcome. I'm going to start having subscriber only something. So stay tuned for that. And members, there's a membership actually too. We'll wait till then. You're very welcome. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. And remember, Lorenda and I are going to be going live. I don't think there's anything stopping that. We are going live Sunday at 5 p.m. We're going to be doing trans channeling again. Oh my gosh. That could be amazing. She and I haven't had much time together this whole week because she was busy last weekend with her Spirit Fest and doing a lot of stuff. You're so welcome. So go. That's fun. So look for that. I hope to see many of you in my workshop tomorrow. I want to thank you guys again. Love you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. And I'll see many of you sometime this weekend. All right. Take care. Bye, everybody. Your niece's name is Ain. That's who our goddess is this month. Amazing. All right. Take care. Bye.